There are moments in cinema that stay with us long after the screen fades to black. Moments where music becomes the heartbeat of a story and transforms the final scene into something unforgettable. And in the world of Avatar, a universe crafted with immense imagination by James Cameron, that final emotional touch comes from a song so powerful that early viewers couldn't stop talking about it. The journey of how this song found its way into the closing sequence of the film is a story of artistry, passion, and unexpected connections. From the very beginning, those who got the rare opportunity to watch the early cuts of the film were struck by the emotional intensity of the music. They described the song as stunning, not simply for its melody but for how seamlessly it fit with the montage chosen to end the film. One early viewer said the moment felt almost magical, explaining how beautifully the song was cut into the visuals. Even those who hadn't yet seen the final form of the movie could feel its emotional weight. One person joked to another, "You've seen more than me now," only to admit they still hadn't experienced the complete version. Because the final experience is not just the images but the fusion of music and story. One of the most fascinating pieces of this journey comes from an artist who described watching Avatar during its unfinished phases. Instead of seeing only polished, perfected scenes, they watched early versions. Raw, incomplete, and filled with in-progress animation. But rather than being distracted by the rough visuals, they loved it. They said they had always been fascinated by what lies behind the curtain, and watching a film before its final rendering was like witnessing the soul of the story before it receives its final skin. They compared the experience to watching a documentary about filmmaking, where you see the layers underneath the art. To them, the unfinished version of Avatar wasn't less magical, it was more intimate. It revealed the labor, the patience, the vision, and witnessing that creative process made them even more honored to be part of the journey. Being connected to a project of this size and emotional depth meant participating not only in the final product, but also in the evolution of the story. They explained that being a part of the film meant contributing to the transformation of those early rough scenes into the sweeping cinematic moment the world would finally see. They didn't just lend their voice to a song, they helped shape the emotional conclusion of the story. The lyrics of the song that closes the film strike a chord that resonates deeply with audiences. When the words, "Even through the flames, even through the ashes in the sky, baby, when we dream as one," fill the theater. The moment becomes more than a musical cue. It becomes a thematic echo of everything Avatar represents. The universe created by James Cameron is built around ideas of unity, connection, and shared spirit. Every struggle, every victory, every loss in the story leads back to the idea that hearts and minds are stronger together. The song embodies that message with breathtaking clarity. When asked what they hoped audiences would feel when leaving the theater, the artist didn't talk about their performance or their voice. Instead, they spoke about the genius of James Cameron, the way he manages to craft stories of massive scale without ever letting the emotional core slip away. They explained that Cameron's greatest strength is balance. Even as he creates worlds of towering landscapes, deep oceans, and dazzling bioluminescent night skies, he never forgets the heart of the characters living within them. That balance between spectacle and intimacy is what gives Avatar its lasting emotional power. The artist talked about how challenging it is for filmmakers to maintain that emotional truth in the middle of such overwhelming scale. Yet they said Cameron does it effortlessly. He blends action with vulnerability, giant cinematic landscapes with small moments of human emotion, and the closing song is designed to reinforce that emotional connection. It's not there to overshadow the visuals. It's there to hold the heart of the film in place, to guide audiences gently into reflection, and to leave them with a sense of unity and hope. Behind this emotional storytelling is an unexpected but warm connection to another iconic figure, Dolly Parton. The artist mentioned that they had met the interviewer earlier in the year who had also met Dolly Parton for the first time, and described being completely obsessed with her. With her signature grace and humor, Dolly Parton always leaves an impression. The interviewer asked about her, wondering how she was doing, especially after she had recently postponed some of her Las Vegas dates. The artist responded with pure affection, calling Dolly Parton their godmother and explaining that she is doing wonderfully. They said she is the kind of person who lives by the motto, "The show must go on." Even when she needs to take a pause, her spirit never dims. The artist said that Dolly Parton is already looking forward to getting back to work, fueled as always by her love of performing. The mention of her brought warmth into the conversation, adding a touch of legendary charm to a night already filled with cinematic magic. As the interview wrapped up, the energy in the air felt electric. The artist thanked the interviewer with genuine appreciation and prepared for what was sure to be an unforgettable night. Premieres are more than red carpets and flashing cameras. They are the culmination of years of creative labor, sleepless nights, revisions, experiments, and dreams. For the artist, it meant stepping into a theater, knowing that millions of people around the world would hear their voice as the final emotional note of the film. For James Cameron, it meant unveiling yet another chapter of the universe he built. He built with passion and precision. For fans, it meant returning once again to the extraordinary world of Pandora and the story that continues to evolve within it. The closing of the film is not just a musical moment, it is a message, a promise, a reminder that even in stories filled with great battles, distant worlds, and unfamiliar creatures, the heart of humanity remains the most powerful force. The song carries that message forward. It tells audiences that dreams shared together have the power to overcome darkness, loss, and challenge. When people walk out of the theater, they do not simply remember the visuals of Avatar, they remember the feeling, the warmth, the unity, the emotional echo that stays with them long after the credits roll. This journey, from the unfinished early cuts to choosing the perfect closing song, to weaving musical emotion into gigantic cinematic scale, becomes a testament to what makes films legendary. It's not just technology, not just world building, not just visual spectacle, it's the human touch. It's the artists who pour themselves into every line of dialogue, every lyric, every frame. It's the storytellers like James Cameron who can take something massive and make it intimate. It's the musicians who bring heart into the silent spaces. It's the legacy of icons like Dolly Parton who remind us through their lives and work that passion never fades. In the end, the story behind this song is a reminder that great films are built layer by layer. They begin as sketches, drafts, temporary shots, pieces of raw footage, and through the combined effort of countless creators, they transform into the emotional experiences audiences cherish. The final song of Avatar is not just a soundtrack choice, it is the final breath of the story. It is the thread that ties together every emotional journey the characters have taken. It is the bridge between the world of Pandora and the hearts of the people sitting in the theater. When the audience rises to leave, the film stays with them because of moments like this. Because of a song that tells them, softly but powerfully, that dreaming together makes us stronger than any challenge we face. And because stories like Avatar remind us that even in the vastness of imagination, the human heart remains the most beautiful landscape of all.